Hi there. I just did a short you may or may not have seen that's about greens and using greens with your watercolor. And I decided I was a little rushed with that because I'm trying to get it within the 1 minute to get it out to more people in a short format and introduce myself. Hi, I hope you're doing well. I'm Cindra. I live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I've been teaching watercolor for probably 7, 8 years, and I've been painting with watercolor for a couple of decades. I love the peace and I love the joy of watercolor and sharing all of that. I have a Patreon site. I'd be honored if you wanted to join me in a happy, peaceful, kind atmosphere where you really will learn a lot. It's patreon.com/Cindra. And I also do live Zoom classes, and all my classes are taped as well. So that said, let's get into greens. I use scratch paper to test colors all the time, so you'll have to excuse my blotchy other colors that are on here. But I just wanted to talk to you a little bit more about greens because I feel a lot of people are not sure how to use them properly. So I have a few more examples. I'll keep it short and sweet, but not rushed. Deal? Okay. So here we go. Green gold is a color pre-mixed. You can make your own as well, but green gold is a lovely shade. Has a little bit of yellowy, olivey shades in it for my taste. Here's sap with some lemon yellow in it to warm it up. And here's sap with burnt sienna, quin gold. Here's another green with burnt sienna, and this one's undersea. And I want to just say to you, if you have not discovered undersea green, holy cow, is that a beautiful color. I'm looking around to see if I have any undersea by itself. Let me just whip you up a little bit of it. Here's undersea. It's got kind of a bluish, brownish undertone, and here it is a little darker. It's just a lovely color. It's a Daniel Smith with 10 million colors. So undersea is just beautiful. And I really highly recommend it to your color choices. I also wanted to show you a bunch of mixes. Here's undersea by itself. Found it. And I know everybody's monitors are a little different, but hopefully you can get a feel for it. Here's green apatite, which is more similar to sap, but also a beautiful color. Both of these are Daniel Smith. But as you can see, here's sap with sepia, here's sap with transparent orange, here's sap with burnt sienna, with quin gold, with Payne's gray, with Venetian red. The list goes on. And it's just so much fun with ultramarine. It's so much fun to figure out greens and use a variety of greens instead of just sticking with dipping into sap, either have it watered down version or heavily pigmented. So I highly recommend you do that. Also, depending on where you are in your watercolor journey, sap really is one of those colors that looks very, very different depending on the brand. So here it is with Core. And Mary, easy for me to say, Mary Blue has almost a grayish undertone to my eye. It's a cooler version, especially when you use more water with it. But it's got more of a bluish undertone, blue-gray. And then you have Magello with a very yellowy, like a Hooker's in many brands. I really love the sap and Core, by the way. It's just a true sap that, when I think of sap, that's it. Same with Winsor and Newton, although Winsor and Newton's a little bit more blue, but here it is. Hotman, if you haven't figured it out, it's considered a student brand, but compared to other student brands, it's professional and it's a good, affordable way to get into colors, also made by Winsor and Newton. And you can see a few others. And I showed several of these on my my quick short, and this is sap with cadmium red, sap with Payne's gray, and then the undersea, which I just told you about. but I have a brand I really like called Roman Schmal. If you're not familiar with it, it's sold at Jackson's and out of Europe, and it's Aquarius green. It's just a lush, lovely green. This was a class I taught showing greens blending into cadmium red. Just love me some watercolors. I don't know about you. And here it is, just a wash. I first painted all the sweet little delicate flowers. This was back in 2020, wow. And then I did a light wash of green. This was a class. This was a class showing you a variety of greens. And I want to show you on the color wheel before I show you my last few greens on the color wheel. And I made a real dark line so you could see what I'm talking about. These color wheels are amazing once you figure them out. You don't have to get into this heavy duty study of them as long as you get a few basics. Everything on this side is considered warm and will therefore pull the color closer to you. Notice greens are split. So if you have more yellowy green, warmer green, it's going to be pulled towards you and it has a warmer feeling, a friendly, kind, soft, gentle, warm feeling. Colors really do that. Talk to interior decorators. Now, if it's on the blue side, and it's interesting because sap can be both of those depending on the mix or depending on the brand. If it's on this side, it's on the cooler. And one thing fun with the cooler colors is it's peaceful. In your paintings, it's pulled further back naturally. Although if you make it more pigmented and less water, it pulls it forward anyway. But anything that's on this side is going to be on the cool side of things. So I wanted to just quickly, in wrapping it up, I wanted to show you just a few more of my paintings. This is just so quintessential Southern, isn't it? Oh, I love the live oaks. This is so typical South Carolina and loved teaching this. I had a friend that said, please teach us a live oak. So I certainly did. I used a little bit, by the way, off topic, but I used a little bit of a white pastel pencil, which I love doing both in the fences and in the moss coming down. Here is just a very peaceful scene that uses a variety of blues and a variety of greens. Have you ever used Brusho? I love Brusho for all kinds of cool things. Here's a Northern Lights kind of a feeling. Notice all the greens along with other colors. As far as if something is more articulated and less water and a more pigmented look, that it comes forward, this is a prime example of what I'm talking about. These happen to also have a lot of warmth in them, and this is a little bit more faded. And again, don't we love watercolor? So joyful, so peaceful, so therapeutic. This was a little trick I used with using candle wax for the stream, but again, a variety. These are all from classes I teach either with Patreon or Zoom. If you want to join me, I'm very affordable. I'm very accessible. You can always show me your progress and I'm happy to help you. Guess what this is? This was a class I taught that was all about using ink and wash. Do you see some of the ink in there? And again, notice the different shades of green. I could have just used a flat green, just one sap and call it a day, but I'm having some come forward and some blend out. Two more. This one I thought was fun. This is more of an emerald green, and this is from a Canadian park. Isn't that pretty? I love like the purpley, bluish mountains in the background. And the last, you know by now, maybe you do, maybe you don't. I love water drops. And this is just kind of an abstract feeling of looking out of a window. But notice the green. You're looking out of a window, probably a second story window. And you're just seeing kind of a blurred feeling, some lights in the background. But notice what I did with the green towards the bottom of it. You're looking down and there's the lawn and shrubs and different things blurred out of your blurry window. So like I said, I have lots of people that tell me they're stuck with green. And I'd love to encourage you to get out of your rut with green. The world of green is just amazing, so much fun. It'll give a whole different vibe to your painting once you start figuring out greens. So have fun with them, enjoy them, and God bless your day.